Hi everybody, welcome back to FRAG-MENTAL. Thanks for joining me. Which is better, Dior Homme Intense or Dior Homme Parfum? In this video, I'm going to share my thoughts with you. Both these fragrances from the Dior Homme line get a lot of praise stacked on them, and I thought there might be some people out there thinking about buying one of these and wondering what the differences are and which one might be the best. So in this video I'm going to highlight those differences and let you know which one I prefer. Let's start off by taking a look at the notes in each of these because they do differ slightly, and we'll start with DHI. In Dior Homme Intense we have lavender, iris, ambrette, pear, vetiver and cedar. So, not an extensive note list in this one. What about DHP? In Dior Homme Parfum there is orange, iris, rose, leather, ambrette, cedar, sandalwood and oud. So DHP coming off a little more complex there, looking at the notes, but what about how they smell? Well, they smell pretty similar. They are both flankers of the same line, of course. There are differences, they're slight and they're nuanced, but they are there. So I'm going to dig deep, I'm going to really dissect these two fragrances. Not that anyone's going to be doing that in real life when they smell either of these off you, but for the purposes of this video, that's what I'm going to do. Let's start with DHI. Out of the two, I find DHI a little lighter, a little thinner. I also get a nice buttery cocoa accord. The iris and the woods just dance around each other beautifully. This is a really exquisite, stunning fragrance. It really deserves to get the praise that it does. DHI is a stunner. Comparatively, I find DHP is slightly heavier, slightly thicker, has a bit more weight to it. It's deeper, richer, a bit smoother, more rounded, and it also has an added confidence and maturity to it that DHI doesn't quite have in the same amount. It could be due to the leather and the oud, which we're not finding in DHI, which we do get in this one. But that's not to say that DHI is a juvenile fragrance at all. It's absolutely not. I would say both of them could be worn by the same age groups, but because it has a bit more energy, a bit more vibrancy, it just has a slightly more youthful quality to it. The oud and the leather aren't prominent notes in this, they're nicely nuanced, but they're just adding some depth and a little bit more complexity. Prominent notes in this, to me, are the same as DHI, and it's that beautiful combination of iris and woods. As DHI dries down, I get a slight spiciness, and as I've described, a real energy to it, so it makes me think of someone who has class, confidence, but a real energy about them. DHP is a very well-rounded, well-anchored scent, and it has more of a weighty, quiet confidence attached to it as opposed to the more energetic confidence of DHI. Just to further highlight the differences, I'm going to talk about occasions when to wear both of these. So I'd say DHP would work really well as a classy, formal scent, and DHI would work really well as a day scent where you still want to be smart and smelling classy and sophisticated, or even as a night out scent where you're dressing smart but you're just letting your hair down a bit and maybe having a little bit more fun. I'm just mentioning different occasions to further highlight the slightly different characters of both of these. In reality, they're both very versatile and you could wear them for pretty much the same occasions. I'm going to be honest with you, in a blind test, I would probably struggle to tell the difference between these two, and that just highlights that the differences are slight and nuanced, but they are there. Now, which one do I prefer out of these two? It's a tie. Both of them are exquisitely beautiful, refined, sophisticated, masculine fragrances. But I'm going to have to talk about performance. DHP, I get around 2 to 3 hours of projection, and then it'll last around 10 hours, so fantastic performance. Can't fault this at all. Comparatively, DHI, not quite as good on the performance, so I'll get around 1 to 2 hours of projection, and then the life of the fragrance will be around 6 to 7 hours, and then it's not very detectable. I would have to respray. So in terms of performance, DHP definitely is the winner. Now, this is a 2017 bottle and I believe it's a reformulation. I haven't smelt earlier formulations of this, so I can't attest to that. People do say that it used to perform a lot better. I do hear though that people say this current version performs really well for them, so maybe it just depends on your skin chemistry. So to sum it all up, I love the scent of both of these equally as much. DHI is a little lighter, has a bit more energy to it. DHP is a little darker, richer, more rounded, has a bit more maturity to it. In terms of the performance, Dior Homme Parfum beats Dior Homme Intense. So the overall winner for me has to be Dior Homme Parfum. I still will wear Dior Homme Intense. I'll probably wear it on days when I know I don't quite need as much performance from it. Okay, so that's my take on these two fragrances. I've really enjoyed putting this information into this video for you. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you've tried both of these fragrances, I'm sure many of you have. They're very popular fragrances. I'm sure there'll be lots of opinions out there. I'd be really interested to see if you've had similar experiences to me. So leave some comments down below and let me know what you think of these two. Thanks for watching, everybody. Until next time, keep tuning into FM and keep smelling good.